So, hey, what's going on? John from Johnny's LR3. How's it going? How are you, Mark?
I'm good. I'm good. Very good.
So you want me to do an update?
Yes.
Tell
please.
people stuff. Okay, so I'll tell you stuff. So I've had the trailer for about a year now. Love it. It's a great trailer. Really enjoying it. It's, let's see, we've had it some different extremes. About 3 degrees was pretty cold. Kept it at a moderate 65 degrees. Beautiful. Heater worked great. Children were outside in a Shift Pod Mini, freezing. Wasn't too concerned. I knew if they were going to die, I could always bring them inside. That's a lie. They were fine. Anyway, yeah, so since the last time we've done anything with the trailer, there's been a couple things done. So I've done the 2 Zamp solar panels up on top, so 200 watts of solar on top, the 12 volt, dual 12 volt batteries now. Changed those out to 2 AGMs. Started getting more comfortable with using like the awning walls, which are obviously not up right now. Just little things, little tricks of the trade. Like this right here seems to be a popular mod that everybody's doing. You get one of these glass panel things and you just use that for a door pull. Some other folks have done things where they've taken like straps and just put like on one of these rivets or something, have it pull in, but not really, haven't been a big, huge fan about that. Not much has changed inside. It still looks about the same. Added some rubber floor mats. Otherwise, oh, and then I got a couple more of these suction cup things, small ones that I use to hang gear from the ceiling. There have been some mods where people have taken like little steel plates, glued them to the ceiling, and then used the magnetic style. I don't know. I haven't really chosen to make that kind of change yet. Otherwise, the only other really big things that I'm getting ready to do probably at some point in time is one of the nice things would be to have some light off the rear. So I've got a couple of the similar lights to what's on the sides that I've illuminated in red now. Mount these on the back. I have another switch inside that's open. We'll end up using that for just a pair of lights, down lights out in the back. So these throw nice light, but obviously at nighttime when it's super dark and you hear a noise out back, you can throw some light on. Kind of illuminates, maybe chase away animals that are hanging around the back or whatever. So that's kind of a good idea. I know there's some cameras. I've thought about this too. There's some remote cameras that you can put so I could actually keep an eye on what's going on behind the trailer from the truck. Little pop-up display you can carry in. I could set it inside. That would also give me a view out the back. But honestly, I tend not to be so paranoid about things, and I don't really worry too much about that. So dual batteries have changed out. So last time you saw this was a single Canada proof battery. Now it's 2 AGMs, or marine AGMs, deep cells, and then they're wired with these Anderson plugs so that I can use, if I don't have access to a 30 amp like I do at home, plug, which then keeps the batteries tendered by the brain box in the trailer, I have a NOCO dual battery charger that I can just Anderson plug in, and that'll keep it topped off. So yeah, otherwise, oh, I added some mats up here just to keep gear from sliding around. Makes it a little easier to clean things out. I did change to this, I can't remember exactly what this is called. It's this 750 something. This ARC 750 is brilliant. So when you first saw it, I had the same as with the jacks in the back, the adjustable cranks in the back. I had one up here, it had dual wheels. That was okay. The problem is that because it shifts every time you go to try to move it, and the wheels were plastic, it didn't like to move on heavy terrain. This rubberized wheels, very firm, and it swings up out of the way as well. So you can adjust the height of this arm, not only by cranking it, but also releasing it and adjusting it so you can shorten it up if you're on a steep angle or something. Or when you go to stow it, you can shorten it up and throw it up, and it's out of the way. It's brilliant. So that's been a nice change too. The 2 Zamp solar panels, very nice. That's been a nice change. And then of course the Victron 30 amp solar controller inside. So that was,
With all their built-in systems, how have they been for you, for your use?
So heater's been great. That's actually, I admit, I'm not really, I tend not to really care about such things, but when you have it and you can use it, it's kind of nice to be able to wake up in the morning and just kind of chill out inside. Right now the table configuration is askew because of the box in there, but you know, I can just pull the table out, make coffee, kind of hang out, have it a little bit warmer. Don't have to get all bundled up like you would if you were hanging out around outside. Yeah, the heat's kind of nice. Hot water shower, that's a decent feature too. I said I was going to be doing a hanging a shower stall or the shower thing off the side. Honestly, most of the places I go, I just throw a mat down. I use the shower. I don't really worry about it. I mean, it just hasn't been a problem. I've got a little pop-up as well. I've considered possibly trying to figure out a way. I was thinking about this here recently. I saw a video, Ozark Outdoors, or I'm not sure who they are. Anyway, they got a new trailer, and when they set up all their awnings, they complete a 360. And then with the sidewalls, it's basically a yurt. I mean, that's very cool. I don't know that I ever stop enough to do that, and that's probably the thing that'll keep me from doing it, because I don't know that I ever, like, setting all this up is, it's not hard, it's just, it takes time. And then, oh, is it windy? Oh, then I need to stake everything out. Oh, well, you know, that adds more time. Most of the time I kind of like to pull in someplace, just pop the top and build a fire and make food and hang out and, you know, enjoy an adult beverage or something. It's not really, I don't necessarily need to spend all this time, but I can see if I was going to be somewhere longer, the sidewalls are going to be brilliant. Using those, being able to put up one of these portable fire pits inside there, or a buddy heater or something, just to kind of add some heat, get you a little bit out of the elements, especially when it's kind of like this. It'd actually be a nice day for it if we're gonna be here overnight. So yeah, that's pretty nice. There are some things people are doing inside. There is some of the cool things that I've seen people do. So there was somebody who just took delivery of one of these, a 2022, and on the back panel of the canvas on the pop top, they've actually replaced that panel with a clear, just like on the sides. So it's just a square. So you've got 3 windows on the canvas. It's the only one I've seen. They did it at the factory as an option because they were thinking they needed more light to make somebody want to go camping. So that was a good one. Also, there's been like little things, like people have been coming up with solutions, like storage solutions for the sidewalls. That are pretty neat, just like different pockets that you can stick stuff in, permanently affixed to the side. That's been pretty cool. Little tables that pop down so you can set stuff on the ends. There's been a couple hacks on the heater where you use the ducting to bring the heat up. So you, instead of having it just kind of come out from underneath the table and out the ends of the benches or the end of the bed, they're taking ducting and running it up so the heat blows up higher into the room, and then it causes a delay in the temperature So you get more even, consistent temperature because the thermometer is down lower and it takes longer for it to detect the temperature. So that's a pretty good one too.
Now you're mentioning all these things. Is there like a Facebook group or a members group or something?
Yeah, Facebook has got, so we've got Mission Overlander Owners Club or whatever it's called exactly. I can't think right now. And the nice thing is that they don't seem to be reluctant about letting people who are just kind of exploring the trailer type to come on there and ask questions. And of course, it seems like everybody's really been very helpful as far as answering questions about what about this, what about that. You know, you get a lot of questions, simple questions. They've added the new AC ductwork on the side where they've actually put a hole through, a pass through, and then you can use one of the portable ACs that you keep outside, and then that blows cold air inside. It's battery pack. It runs for like 5 or 6 hours consistently if you need it. Mission Overland went from they were up in like Red Dog or something like that, and then they've moved to Winnipeg. I think it's Winnipeg, where they're doing all their manufacturing now. So it's a much larger manufacturing facility. They're putting out many more trailers than they used to. There was a little bit of learning curve, but as usual, the company's been very responsive to people that are having any kind of problems. They've done a really good job of responding, and they follow that Facebook page. They respond on that Facebook page as well as responding to customers when they actually contact them. So,
is there anything specific for someone looking to purchase one of these Mission Overlands that you would want them to just to consider or think that would be valuable for them to consider?
Well, I think I've said this before, is that this is the uniqueness of the build is that it pops up from the rear, so you get that little rear space that you don't have in other types of this trailer. But you also have to look and see, well, if you have you and your 2 kids, unless you're going to do a rooftop tent, unless you're going to do the bunk beds, but the bunk beds are really only good for younger kids, you really have to evaluate what are your specific needs. What do you want it to do? So it's a little bit heavier than some, but it's a very capable trailer. I've dragged it a lot of different places that maybe other people wouldn't take their trailers. And most people with off-road trailers, we'd all go about the same place. So it's really nice to have so much clearance. It's really nice to have such a capable vehicle that's aluminum and steel and composite. I mean, it's just, they're good materials. It's made out of good materials. It's soundly built. It's just really evaluating what do you need it to do, and then it becomes an evaluation of, do I have them do the solar? So I've done this myself, and I'm still working on getting some different brackets made for it. So there's things like that where mine might not look as clean right now, or they do the mounting directly too. But the thing that even like with my truck, when the panel I had previously went bad. It became a question, well, do I do one of the ones that just kind of sticks right to the hood? And at the end of the day, I think that I'm happy that I didn't do it. Because this is very easy. This is pop 8 rivets and I'm done. It's off, and I can replace the panel, 8 more rivets, and it's done. It's back together again. I don't have to worry about taking off paint. I don't have to worry about stripping away, it's very simple. And oh, by the way, it matches those 2 up there. So I've always got a spare somewhere. That was one of the nice things about deciding to go with the Zamp again on that.
Could you show us your really simple organization system? I've always enjoyed like the Step 22 bags that they have, but I really thought that your system, as simple as it is something that
Admittedly, it was one of those things where it was go to Walmart and buy a bunch of tubs, and so it's really just tubs. I have everything organized that way, and all keeps. That's great, and I do the same thing on the other side. Coffee, fuel. There's a couple things that still float around, but mostly things are in a bin and tucked away. So Yeah, it helps. Some things you just never will, obviously. You know, there's coffee maker back there, there's jet boil, there's things that just won't go in a bin, but that's okay. They're meant to float around anyway. And that's probably the only other thing that I would say is that I'm forever torn. I think this helped me organize things in a way that I know that I have pretty much everything I need to exist if I take the trailer, and I have everything I need to exist if I have my truck. So there's a lot of redundancy. What a surprise, right? One of my favorite words. I've got a lot of redundant things, but that's okay. You know, 2 jet bowls and 1 in the truck, 1 in here, and then of course the stove that's in here. So I don't always need to deploy everything that's in the trailer. I'll always probably use the fridge. I'll always probably use the fridge in both vehicles, but I won't always use the stove. If we're staying somewhere and we're, you know, feeling like really having nice meals, then I'll do that. And it's just a question of being properly motivated to make a steak or something. Last night was an example of not being properly motivated. So bag food to the rescue.
Well, excellent. Well, you know, with all the videos that you've done and all the tours, just really appreciate, you know, you helping us with learning to comfortably be off grid. And that's something that definitely encourage more people to consider, because it's,
it's easy.
Once you figure out your systems, it's really a joy.
It's not hard. Nothing about it's hard. There's no complicated. You don't have to have a lot of complicated stuff. It just, as you go along and as you start going through the ages, you'll change your mind. It's like you guys, you're changing your mind. You know, you were thinking you were doing truck based, and now you're thinking about doing a more off-road type trailer base. It's, you know, you decide what are the things you like to do and what are important to you, and then that's what you try to create your platform to work for you. So no, I love this trailer. I've had a good time. You know, there's probably, this isn't for everybody, so, you know, but there's lots of options that are similar that people can get into, or if you do decide to do something like this, if this particular trailer, this is a great option. I mean, it's a really nice trailer. So like anything, there's always going to be a problem, but I really like the responsiveness of the management ownership of Mission Overland. They're very, very customer oriented.
You're on primarily Instagram?
Yes.
And that's?
At Johnny's_LR3.
And we'll put that in there also.
Thanks, man.
All righty.
Go. I'm becoming a pro. I'm becoming an influencer. You know, this is never gonna end now. She's gonna give me time I'm here with her this week. It's probably gonna be a good thing she's moving to California.